Could your favorite snack be silently hurting your heart, damaging your memory, or interfering with your medication? Most seniors over 60 try to eat healthier, but few realize that certain nuts, the ones we're told are healthy, might actually be doing more harm than good. Studies now reveal that eating the wrong type of nut regularly can increase your risk of cardiovascular disease, raise your blood pressure, and even worsen cognitive decline. And here's the twist. These aren't exotic nuts. They're the ones sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. In this video, we're breaking down the 4 healthiest nuts for seniors and the 4 you should avoid at all costs. Some of the ones you think are good for you, they may be raising inflammation, messing with your medication, or silently stressing your kidneys and brain. And one nut in particular, it's known to interfere with over 60% of medications commonly prescribed to older adults. Yet hardly anyone is talking about it. Stick with us, because by the end, you'll know exactly which nuts support your bones, memory, and circulation, and which ones are secretly undermining your health. Also, let us know where you're watching from in the comments. It helps us create better videos for seniors around the world. Let's start with the good news. The healthiest nuts for people over 60. Number 1. Almonds. When it comes to building strength after 60, few snacks work harder than almonds. These small, familiar nuts offer a unique advantage for seniors, not just because they're rich in nutrients, but because of how those nutrients interact inside an aging body. At the top of the list is calcium, which supports bone density as the natural aging process gradually pulls minerals from skeletal tissue. What makes almonds special, however, is not only the calcium itself, but the presence of magnesium, a mineral that helps ensure calcium ends up in the bones rather than lingering in the bloodstream or forming unwanted buildups. That magnesium-calcium partnership is essential for bone integrity, especially after 65 when the risk of injury from simple falls or sudden movements rises. Almonds also bring something else to the table: vitamin E, a nutrient that has been shown to help support joint tissue, protect cellular membranes, and enhance the body's natural defenses against oxidative stress, which becomes more important with age. While many foods may claim to support aging bones, almonds do so in a way that targets multiple systems at once, combining structure, circulation, and antioxidant action in a single serving. But bone support is just the beginning. Almonds also support digestion, cardiovascular function, and mental clarity. Their high fiber content helps keep bowel movements regular without relying on synthetic products, which is especially useful for seniors who experience occasional sluggishness. And when consumed with their skin on, almonds offer powerful plant compounds called flavonoids. These, combined with vitamin E, have been shown in studies to enhance antioxidant activity even further, potentially helping the body respond to natural wear and tear that can affect concentration and memory. For daily use, almonds are best consumed raw or dry roasted without added salt. 15 to 20 almonds per day is enough to get the benefits without overdoing it, and the mild crunch offers a pleasant, satisfying texture. If swallowing is ever a concern, lightly chopping or soaking the almonds can help. What's remarkable about almonds is how quietly effective they are. They don't just add nutrients, they help coordinate them, helping the body make better use of the nutrients it already has. And speaking of coordination, there's another nut that seems almost designed for a different part of the body entirely. It resembles it too. Let's take a look at the next one and see how it supports something just as essential as your bones, your brain. Number 2. Walnuts. Among all the foods that support cognitive health in older adults, walnuts remain one of the most scientifically respected options. They do not just resemble a brain in shape, but they benefit it in ways that few other plant-based foods can. Rich in alpha-linolenic acid, a type of omega-3 fatty acid found in plants, walnuts offer support for neural communication and cell membrane structure, both of which tend to weaken with age. These omega-3s help protect the brain's fragile tissues from oxidative changes that can gradually affect focus, mental agility, and memory. But walnuts do not rely solely on healthy fats. They also contain unique antioxidant compounds known as polyphenols, which researchers have found to reduce inflammation in the brain and support a clearer, more responsive mind. In a controlled study published in a respected nutrition journal, seniors who consumed walnuts consistently for just 8 weeks experienced improvements in mental flexibility and reaction time. These are not dramatic overnight changes, but rather subtle reinforcements of the brain's day-to-day functions. When you are aging, those small shifts can mean a lot, especially when they add up over time. Beyond cognitive support, walnuts may play a quiet role in regulating daily rhythms that often get disrupted as we grow older. They contain melatonin, the same compound our bodies produce to help signal bedtime. That natural presence makes walnuts especially helpful for those who experience occasional sleep disturbances. Just a small serving in the evening may support a smoother transition to rest. Additionally, walnuts provide arginine, an amino acid that supports the inner lining of blood vessels and promotes healthy circulation, including to the brain. Their soft texture also makes them easier to chew than harder varieties, reducing concerns for seniors with dental sensitivities. To preserve their nutritional profile, walnuts should be stored in the refrigerator to keep their delicate oils from turning bitter or stale. A small handful a day is more than enough to receive their benefits without overdoing it. So while almonds may strengthen the body, walnuts target something just as vital: your clarity, your alertness, your sense of self. But what if there were a nut that could help manage one of the most widespread conditions facing older adults today: high blood pressure? That is exactly what comes next. Number 3. Pistachios. Pistachios might not be the first nut that comes to mind when people think of healthy aging, but for those over 60, they offer a combination of qualities that make them uniquely suited to supporting cardiovascular health. Unlike some of the harder, more processed nuts, pistachios have a naturally soft crunch that is easier on teeth and gums, which can be especially important for those with dental work or sensitivity. One of their most underrated benefits lies in their potassium content. A single ounce contains nearly 300 milligrams of potassium, a mineral that helps regulate the balance between sodium and fluid in the body. As we age, the kidneys become less efficient at managing that balance, which can contribute to rising blood pressure levels. Incorporating potassium-rich foods like pistachios may help reduce that strain. Some studies have found that pistachios, when consumed regularly, can lower systolic blood pressure by a few points, offering a simple, natural method for easing cardiovascular tension without adding strain to the system. Another standout feature of pistachios is their support for vision and metabolic regulation. These nuts contain the carotenoids lutein and zeaxanthin, two pigments that concentrate in the macula of the eye. Over time, the macula naturally deteriorates, leading to gradual vision loss that many older adults experience as part of age-related macular degeneration. By providing consistent support to this area of the eye, pistachios may help preserve vision clarity for longer. Additionally, they offer fiber and protein in a balance that makes them ideal for regulating blood sugar levels, particularly among older adults who are managing prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. One simple habit, shelling pistachios before eating, also encourages mindful eating. The physical act of opening each nut slows down the pace of snacking, which may help reduce overeating and provide a greater sense of satisfaction. For daily use, 1 ounce or about 49 pistachios is a reliable serving size. Choose unsalted or lightly salted versions to avoid unwanted sodium, and store them in a cool, dry place to preserve freshness. Now that we have explored a nut that supports blood pressure and eye health, it is time to introduce one that works on a much deeper level, one that influences your metabolism energy, and cellular aging from the inside out. Number 4. Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts stand out for one reason above all others: their unmatched concentration of selenium, a trace mineral that plays a central role in supporting thyroid health. While many seniors are aware of calcium and potassium, selenium often flies under the radar. Yet it is essential for the activation of thyroid hormones, which control energy levels, body temperature, and metabolism. Just one Brazil nut delivers more than 100% of your daily selenium needs, making it one of the most powerful foods you can eat in small quantities. This is especially important for people over 60, as thyroid issues become more common with age and often go undetected due to their subtle symptoms. Many of the signs of low thyroid function, like fatigue, slowed thinking, and changes in mood or weight, are often mistaken for just getting older. Regular intake of selenium helps your body fine-tune its hormone production and may prevent those sluggish feelings that creep in unnoticed. What makes Brazil nuts even more unique is the type of fat they contain and how it supports nerve function. Unlike heavily processed snacks, Brazil nuts provide naturally occurring fatty acids that help maintain the myelin sheath. Myelin is the protective layer around nerves that helps transmit signals quickly and accurately. As this layer thins with age, reflexes and coordination can slow down. Nutrients from Brazil nuts may help preserve that protective coating, especially when combined with the right minerals. Their rich, creamy texture also makes them a satisfying alternative to processed desserts or salty snacks, which can disrupt blood sugar and fluid balance. However, because of their potency, moderation is key. 1 to 2 Brazil nuts a day is all you need to get the benefits without exceeding safe selenium levels. To retain freshness and nutritional value, they should be stored in the refrigerator and, when possible, purchased in their shell to avoid premature oxidation. If you are looking for a small, simple way to support energy, metabolism, and cognitive sharpness, Brazil nuts offer a surprising amount of value in a tiny package. Now that we have explored the most beneficial nuts for older adults, it is time to look at the ones that may not be helping at all. The next nut is one of the most popular, yet it carries silent risks for many people over 60. Number 1. Peanuts. Peanuts are everywhere. From peanut butter sandwiches to trail mixes and snack bowls, they are often thought of as a classic and affordable option for seniors trying to make healthier choices. But what most people do not realize is that peanuts are not actually nuts at all. They belong to the legume family and grow underground, which makes them more susceptible to mold growth. This exposure can lead to the presence of compounds known to burden the liver over time, especially in aging bodies where natural detoxification processes may no longer work as efficiently. Peanuts also tend to be stored and shipped in large quantities, which increases the chances of quality loss and oxidation if not handled properly. And while the term peanut allergy is widely recognized, what is often overlooked is that peanuts can still trigger milder, low-grade reactions in some older adults, even without a full allergy. These reactions may show up as joint stiffness, bloating, or fatigue, and because they happen slowly, they are easy to ignore until they become part of everyday discomfort. Beyond the issue of mold and hidden reactivity, peanuts present a nutritional imbalance that becomes more relevant with age. Most Americans already consume too many omega-6 fatty acids and not enough omega-3s. Peanuts are particularly high in omega-6s, and this imbalance can encourage inflammation in the body, especially when consumed often and without balancing nutrients. In addition, peanuts contain vitamin K, which may interfere with blood-thinning medications that many seniors rely on for cardiovascular health. Commercial peanut butter only adds to the concern. Many brands include added sugars, oils, and excess sodium, which can raise blood pressure and strain heart function over time. And when peanuts are dry roasted at high temperatures, they can produce byproducts that may affect cognitive performance if consumed frequently. For those who enjoy the taste or comfort of peanuts, switching to a healthier alternative like almond or walnut butter a few times a week may offer similar satisfaction without the risks. Next, we will look at a nut that often flies under the radar but can spike blood sugar in ways most seniors never suspect. Number 2. Cashews. Cashews are often marketed as a healthy snack, especially for people trying to cut back on junk food or switch to plant-based options. Their smooth texture and naturally sweet taste make them appealing, especially to older adults who may prefer softer foods that are easy to chew. But beneath that creamy bite is a nutritional profile that deserves a second look. Cashews contain more carbohydrates per ounce than most other tree nuts, which gives them a higher glycemic load. For seniors managing blood sugar, this can lead to small but consistent spikes in glucose, particularly when cashews are eaten in larger handfuls. Unlike almonds or walnuts, which contain more fiber and less starch, cashews are more likely to disrupt the steady energy levels that older adults need throughout the day. For individuals with prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, this can gradually make glucose control more difficult, especially when cashews are eaten frequently without protein or fiber-rich foods to slow down their absorption. Beyond their impact on blood sugar, cashews also present unique digestion concerns. They contain natural compounds called oxalates, which can bind to calcium in the gut and reduce how much of it your body absorbs. This is a concern for older adults already at risk for bone thinning or calcium deficiency. High levels of oxalates are also associated with kidney discomfort in people who are prone to mineral buildup. Another lesser-known issue is the way cashews are processed. Raw cashews are actually inedible due to a toxic outer shell, which must be carefully removed through heat treatment. This process can reduce their overall nutrient content, especially if they are roasted in oil and coated with salt afterward. These additions contribute to excess sodium and fat intake, both of which are linked to fluid retention and cardiovascular strain in seniors. Cashews also contain enzyme inhibitors that can make protein harder to digest, an issue for older adults whose ability to break down nutrients has already slowed. While they may seem harmless, cashews can quietly work against your goals if you are trying to manage blood sugar, bone health, or digestion. Coming up next, we will explore a nut that is deceptively rich and flavorful, but can quietly disrupt weight balance and metabolism with every bite. Number 3. Macadamia. Macadamia nuts are often praised for their rich, buttery flavor and luxurious texture, and to many they feel like an indulgent yet healthy treat. But when it comes to aging bodies, especially those past the age of 60, macadamias can present several challenges that are rarely talked about. For starters, they are the most calorie-dense nut commonly available, delivering nearly 200 calories per ounce. That high energy content is paired with a massive amount of fat, over 20 grams per ounce, most of which is monounsaturated, but still difficult to manage if your metabolism has already slowed. For older adults who are trying to maintain or reduce weight, snacking on macadamias can quickly push them into a caloric surplus without providing the same level of fiber or protein that might help them feel full. This can lead to unintentional weight gain, something that becomes harder to reverse with each passing year. Compounding this issue is the nut's richness, which often makes it easy to overconsume. People rarely eat just one or two. Once opened, a small handful can turn into a large portion before the body even signals fullness. Macadamia nuts also present physical challenges that are specific to senior health. Their dense, hard texture requires strong chewing power, which can put strain on aging teeth, dental work, or sensitive gums. This risk increases for those with bridges, crowns, or general enamel weakening, a common occurrence in people over 60. In addition, Their high fat content can be hard on the digestive system, especially the gallbladder, which naturally slows in function over time. For those with gallstones or a history of gallbladder discomfort, the richness of macadamias can trigger bloating, discomfort, or other digestive symptoms. The commercial preparation of macadamias often includes roasting in oil and adding salt, which only increases their calorie load and sodium content. For seniors managing heart health or fluid balance, this can make them a less than ideal snack. And because they are relatively expensive, they are sometimes stored improperly, making them more likely to go rancid if left on shelves too long. If you enjoy the taste, it may be better to save macadamias for rare occasions rather than daily use. The final nut on our list, however, is not just about calories or fat. It has the potential to interfere with common medications and appetite itself. Number 4. Pine nuts. Pine nuts may look small and harmless, but for older adults they can introduce complications that go far beyond calories or fat content. One of the most concerning issues with pine nuts is their ability to interact with common medications. Research shows that compounds found in pine nuts may interfere with how the body processes certain prescriptions, including those for blood pressure, cholesterol, and emotional well-being. For people over 60 who often take multiple medications each day, this kind of disruption can quietly alter how those drugs are absorbed or metabolized, potentially making them less effective or amplifying their side effects. What makes it more troubling is that most doctors and pharmacists do not warn patients about potential food interactions unless they are severe. As a result, pine nuts may seem like an innocent topping on a salad or a main ingredient in pesto, when in fact they could be undermining medication routines without anyone realizing it. In addition to medication concerns, pine nuts are known for causing an unusual condition known as pine nut mouth. After eating them, some people report a persistent metallic taste that can linger for days or even weeks. While this may sound minor at first, for older adults it can lead to appetite loss, reduced enjoyment of food, and unintended weight changes. This is particularly worrisome in seniors who are already struggling to maintain their weight or get enough nutrients from meals. Pine nuts also oxidize quickly due to their high oil content, especially when exposed to heat or light, which can lead to a bitter taste and the formation of compounds that may irritate the digestive system. Their small, slick texture makes them a potential swallowing hazard for individuals with reduced saliva production or difficulty chewing, both of which are common among those taking certain medications. They are also high in polyunsaturated fats that can produce inflammatory byproducts if consumed in large amounts or stored improperly. With so many better nut choices available, it may be wise to treat pine nuts as an occasional garnish rather than a regular snack. Now that you know which nuts support your health and which ones might work against it, let's bring everything together with a powerful takeaway that may change how you snack for years to come. Conclusion: a person's dietary decisions on which nuts to eat and which to avoid can have a significant impact on their long-term health, energy, and cognitive sharpness as they age. And sometimes, it's not about making a dramatic change. It's the small, thoughtful choices applied consistently over time that lead to powerful results. Now is your moment to speak. Have you ever changed your diet, maybe removed one nut or added another, and actually felt a difference? Tell us in the comments which nut changed your life the most. And before we wrap up, let us know where you're watching from today. We love seeing your locations and stories from all around the world. If you have any questions about today's topic or want to share your experience, we invite you to scroll down and leave a comment below. And of course, don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss one of Senior Health's latest tips and insights. Share your stories, ask your questions, and take care of your health, one nut at a time.